Alright guys, welcome to Brian Ninja another video. Today we're at the spot, and that spot is called Riverside Park, which is a cool park that has a lot of fitness equipment, including a whole ninja course, a full-blown ninja course. So I'm going to show you that today, as well as some other stuff. Let's get started. Alright guys, we're about to get started with the ninja course, but first we're going to do the monkey bars here because they're kind of cool. They're in the shape of like a sine wave, basically, like the graph of a sine curve. This is pretty cool. We're going to go down and back 5 times, at least that's my goal. So that's one right there. We have to do 4 more. This is pretty exhausting because you have to go up and down, not just across. But I'm going across pretty well here, as you can see. I'm going to speed it up in a minute once this gets redundant. But for now, I'll show you the full. We're going back down. That's easier for sure, but you have to be careful. And we're about to complete 2 laps. You can see I'm starting to get a little bit tired. You see the double hands on that bar was kind of a sign that I'm getting tired because I'm losing strength. It's less efficient to use both hands on the same bar, but it's also kind of necessary when you lose strength. So yeah, you can see here I'm starting to struggle, especially going up. We still have a lap and a half to go. Now we're coming back down. Now we're going back up a little bit. Now we're going back down for the final lap. And you can see I'm really fighting for it with every move here. I'm even swinging my legs down to get momentum. So you can see I'm struggling a lot more than I previously was. So here's where things get interesting. We have to get to the end and then turn around. And we're trying to do it quickly before I lose my grip, but also be careful because it's really hard to grab. Last little bit coming up here. Come on, Brian. I reached for a nice one and I lost it. Guys, looks like I spilled some hot sauce on my hand. Or some jello. It's not good. Alright guys, so now we're going to do a ninja course starting with the quad steps and swing. The quad steps are on the actual show. You can see a picture there, and here's the replica at the park. We're going to go straight to the swings because it's pretty easy, so why not connect them? It's kind of tricky with flip-flops, but we're making it through. Now we have to make it to the last platform, and we made it. And I should have cut that out. And now here's a POV shot of me doing the steps. It's not very cool, but just so you can see that. Now we have the cheese boards, which is another thing that's not really on American Ninja Warrior, but it's in a lot of like trampoline parks and ninja gyms. It's pretty cool. It's kind of similar to the floating boards, but the floating boards are a lot harder. So I didn't even make a comparison between them. But it's still a cool obstacle. And you can see we're going around here. The flip-flops make it kind of awkward. But we're going to stretch to the third board. I kind of do that, just do something different. Make it a bit harder. So we're stepping on the outside. Careful that flip-flop doesn't fall off, and I made it. Now we have to climb around the board to finish. Let's go, Brian. There we go. Now we have the wing nuts. Now this is an obstacle from Ninja. It debuted in Daytona, which I was actually at that taping in the audience. But we're gonna try the wing nuts here. From the start, I have to build up the swing and then transfer to the second one and back down. I'm hitting that cheese board, which is kind of annoying, but we made it up to the second. Now we're gonna go back down, which should be a bit easier because it's lower, but it's also a moving target. And you saw I hesitated there to swing. And I grabbed it, but with a reverse grip, which I don't like, so I'm gonna try it again. Because technically on the real show, you can't do that, so I want to get it better. So here's take 2. A slightly different camera angle, but we made it to the first one again. Or the first transition again. Now back down. Come on, Brian. My hands are starting to slip, and I peeled off because my hands are hurting so much. Talk to the hand. It's really starting to bleed. Now we have the pipe fitter, or kind of similar to the pipe fitter, which is on A&W. It's these hanging pipes. And we're going to use just our hands. You can use your feet on them on the show, on some of the obstacles on the show, but on this one, I'm just using my hands. The circumference of these pipes is very thick, so it's tougher to get across. And here we go to the third slam pipe. Definitely struggling, but we made it through. As you can see, my hands are really bloody. This video is bloody brilliant. I'm not even British. Now we have the atomic grips, which are on a lot of obstacles like the Cannonball Alley and the minefield on A&W. And here is the route we're going to do through them. The cone and cannonball here actually say Ninja Works on them. Like they're from a ninja company, which is kind of cool. I meant to film that, but I forgot. But they're authentic. They're the real company. And the rings aren't branded. There's plain black rings. But the other ones are themed. We made it halfway through. Now we have to go to the cannonball into the cone to finish. But my grip slipped again. Unfortunately, my blood, sweat, and tears, especially blood, are not paying off. Now we have the spin cycle. This is like the show spin cycle, which we're actually currently seeing on the show right now. But this one doesn't only spin, it also swings, as you can see. Which makes it easier because you can reach the next one. But it does make it different. And I kind of like this change. It's an interesting idea. And I'm really fighting with the momentum here. But we made it through. Next up isn't really an obstacle from the show. I call it the momentum bars. It's kind of similar to the swinging frames that you saw pictured there. But these are different because they're connected to each other. So the 2 bars move in unison. Which I thought was basic at first. But actually it's interesting to try to do it because the bar is actually swinging away from me when we're trying to grab onto the next one. So it's actually a good challenge. We're going to try to go down and back here. And I will shade to the next one just to try that. I should have shade between the 2 bars that are connected, but I never tried that. Next time I probably will. Now I have to reach. I barely made that reach because it's awkward the way it swings. But we made it through. One more transition. Let's get to the final bar. And we did it. That was tough though, actually. Alright guys, the rope junction is next, which is in stage 3 of A&W. On A&W, you only go down one way, but we're going to try to go down both ways. But first, we're going to do one way to warm up and grab the bar. Now we're going to try to go down and back. So we're going to go to the end and swing backwards, try to get back to the first rope. We're halfway there, and I missed. That timing is really awkward. And of course, my hands are bleeding. I guess I've been bleeding that theme dry, but still, they're really starting to hurt as I'm showing you there. And now we'll try that again, see if I can do any better. I'm keeping a higher grip this time. I'm trying to get quicker to the next rope, which I did. To remove that timing element, I just grabbed it quickly. And we finally made it through that. Well, not finally, but we did. I'm going to show you my hands again. Typically, my middle finger's starting to bleed there. I'm not flipping you off, I promise. And now we have the unstable bridge, which I wanted to try, but I was showing you there. I can't do it because my hands are hurting. That's what would hurt them more. So I didn't do it. But now, finally, we have the warp wall. I'm trying to do it with no hands because it's not really warped, so I can do that. I almost made it by using my hand on the top, so I'm trying to get it without any hands. The first 2 attempts did not work, and now I have to take the slide of shame back down because I couldn't do it. But we'll try it again. Of course, you get 3 tries in the warp wall, at least on A&W, so we're going to try it here. Let's go, Brian. And yes, I didn't use my hand, so that counted. So I'm pretty happy with that. It wasn't a great angle, but I'm happy I was able to do it. And here's a shot of the wall. It's pretty steep, but not warped, obviously. And here's a picture of the course. You see it has a ninja course, but also the tennis court, and some mist sprayers, and some fitness equipment, and some playgrounds, and all this other stuff. It's a pretty cool park, even though I didn't show everything. It was just too busy to show everything, but it's really cool. Alright guys, that video was a certified hot mess for 2 reasons. One, my hand got really bad really quickly. I didn't think it would get so bloody, but it did. And then just my middle finger on this hand started bleeding here. So yeah, it got brutal fast. I didn't think it would be so bad because it was like isolated obstacles one at a time, but it was still tough just because they were already messed up. It irritated them. And also it was so busy that it was hard to film, and I didn't want to be filming too much. So that also made it hard. So this is kind of a hot mess video. I didn't do a voiceover. It's mostly post-production because what do you call it? There's too crazy to talk there, so I'm gonna do it after the fact. Hopefully these clips are even usable. I have to watch through them to make sure they're even like good to use, but hopefully, because otherwise I got no video this week. So hopefully they're good. But yeah, I'm gonna come back here soon and do the full course at a later time, like maybe right before it closes, so that way it might be more empty. I'm gonna drive my sister-in-law to film me. Hopefully we can get her out here. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you. Peace out.